In this episode of our guide on using BoB, the TV and radio archive, we're going to be looking at the capacity to add things to playlists. And to do so, I'm actually going to start with a clip that I made in the previous video, which is looking at the use of drones to monitor the movement of mammals in Australia. So I'm going to click onto this clip here. Now, there are certain schools of thought about the making of playlists, and some people say you should only have one clip, one playlist. That's not the philosophy I hold to. I think the purpose of a playlist is to enable you to be able to find something at a later stage. So that process of rediscovery, I want to add something to as many playlists as I think will be relevant whilst I remember. So we're going to use the Add to Playlist button here, and you'll notice straight away that there are two options. There are existing playlists and new playlists. Now clearly, if you're new to the application, new to BoB, you won't have many existing playlists, but I have some there. So I'm going to begin by putting this into some sections. So I mentioned that the clip was about monitoring of the movement of mammals, so I think that fits in the category zoology. So I'm going to put that in there to begin with, into zoology. I think I might also have a playlist already for the program Click. I've recorded various things from there. Oops, if I spelt it right, that might help. Yeah, so Click. So I have a section for the program Click, and I actually also run a collection of resources that feeds into a external collection, and that's called Biology in Broadcast Media. So I start typing in biology there, Biology in Broadcast Media, and I may as well stick that as well. Noticed in the way, I might just put it into the category Biology as well. So you can see I've got quite a few options there. Okay, now there are a couple more playlists. I'm not sure whether these exist or yet or not. So I'm gonna begin by typing the word conservation in here, and it does. So I have a conservation playlist as well. So I'm adding the program to that. I might have a playlist drone. It's not coming up on the list there, so I don't have a drone. I'll come on to making a new playlist for that in a moment. I don't imagine I have a playlist for koala. Nope. And I don't imagine I have a playlist for kangaroo, but I shall just check. Okay, so none of those have shown up. So I'm going to start a new playlist for those, and for this one I'm going to put the word drone in, and I could put a description. Now this doesn't really make much odds for me the way that I'm using the playlist, but if you wanted to have a description of what the playlist means to you, in particular if that's going to be useful to somebody else. Now we'll notice down the bottom here there is the option of making your playlist either public or private. It's public by default, but you could click on that to not have it showing to anybody other than yourself. But by and large, I think the essence of this kind of resource is sharing and giving other people the opportunity to benefit from your work as well. So I tend to leave the playlists available. I put drone in, and I'm going to create a new playlist, and it tells me I've successfully added this to a new playlist. So I want to add that as well, just to a couple more as I mentioned. So add the playlist koala. Again, self-evident, I don't need to add a description to that, and I'm going to add that finally to a playlist kangaroo as well. And in that way, it's given me the possibility of rediscovering that at a later stage. If I remember, wasn't there that program about using drones to monitor the movement of kangaroos? Well, there that is available. So if I now go back to the my BoB, if I look at the playlists, so here's the playlist that I've just prepared. Kangaroo, koala, drone showing up. Conservation, I've got 33 programs that match the description conservation. There are 27 that match biology. I've got a bit of a description there to say what that's to do with. And then 54 biology in the box, 19 for Click, and 5 for zoology. So in that way, I've hopefully made a record that means I can find that program at a later stage should I wish to do so.